A very good morning and a very bitter morning. We're in County Durham today, another lost railway town, and this is the little town of Stanhope, or Stanhope, or Stanhope. I'm not quite sure how you say it.
I'll let you deal with that one.
It's got a population of around 1,600. In line with other towns we've visited on this series, Phil, do you think this one's a market town?
Yeah, cobbled floor plus this cross and a kind of an area here where you can expect an old-fashioned market to take place, I reckon.
Good shout. Yeah, there's a sign over there, marketplace.
All right.
Good guess. And that in there, that's Stanhope Castle, dating back to the 18th century is that, and built on the site of a medieval castle. Stanhope's industry these days centres around agriculture, but the hills surrounding the town show plenty of remains of former significant quarry workings. Historically, lead mining, but on a much larger scale, was the limestone quarrying, and this was what brought the railways to Stanhope, and we'll be covering this separately in a future video. What about Stanhope's railway history? The first railway came to Stanhope in 1834, but it didn't actually carry passengers and it didn't come into the centre here. And that was opened by the Stanhope and Tyne Railway, and that just basically served the quarries around the town. But its first railway station opened in 1862, and that was the Frosterley and Stanhope Railway. It was operated by the Stockton and Darlington Railway. And that 1862 station, we can still see remains of that station even today. Look, that's the that station you can see there, the white building straight in front. Now that was a terminus station. We can see on the maps, this is as far as it went. Around that old original station there, station terrace sign on the side of those houses there, that little row of terraced houses. It's incorporated into a commercial business these days, this old station, look, but it's still, this whole building still remains, look. Getting a little bit consumed by the trees. I suspect they want to get them trees down if they want to keep that station building in good condition.
I like how the factory's been built on the alignment, look. We've said about this before, haven't we?
Yeah. So that is the railway going off there. It kind of curves its way around, and we'll see. You can see on the maps actually, but the next part of this story with Stanhope's railway history. The railway was extended even further inland as far as Weirhead in the 1890s, but due to the alignment of the original station we just showed you, a new station had to be built, which still survives today. When the new station arrived, 1895, this new station arrived. That original station, that still remained, but it kind of served as a goods shed, and it served as the goods up till the 1960s. That now this closed to passengers in 1953, and I said that Stanhope still had good service until 1965. But these days, you'll find Stanhope is the terminus. It's the westerly end of the Weardale Railway, and that runs for how many miles is it? About 18 miles from Bishop Auckland. There's the station frontage then, Phil.
Yeah, it's sort of a slight upgrade on the other one, isn't it? But still a little bit drab, really, having this sort of concrete spray on the front. It devoids character, really, doesn't it? A little bit of the old stations, I think.
Let's have a look on the platform. Okay. We are a bit early, Phil. It's, what is it, 8 o'clock? Just having a look on the footbridge. It's nice to come places like this, you know, and have something like this to have a look at, Phil.
Yeah, I agree.
Celebrates its railway history.
How many lost towns can you think of that have actually got a heritage railway that you've covered?
This wasn't the original footbridge, this one. I think originally it was a wooden footbridge, and this is an NER, North Eastern Railway style footbridge that was put in the 1920s. So I said that the railway closed here in 1953 to passengers, but that wasn't the end of the railway story around here. In 1988, they did have from what I understand here, what I'm going to say, had a quite successful experimental summer service that came up here. That was trialled for a few years, ultimately shelved. I don't know the reasons why it was shelved, but this line actually kept a freight presence, which is probably why the lines are still down all the way out here. The line was still in use by freight until 1992. It was to the Eastgate Cement Works, which is in that direction, Updale.
I hope there's a skeleton in that, driving the Sentinel.
Oh dear.
That's how long it's been stood there.
I think it's trains are running today. You know, it's the Halloween service. I'm not quite sure what's going on timetable wise. Nice to have a wander on the platform, though, isn't it? So 1993, it was taken on one of the Weardale farewell specials. Okay, so that's before it was a heritage railway. Look. This brief history doesn't tell half the story. After closing to passengers in the 1950s, this station needed substantial rebuilding after finding its calling as the terminus of the Weardale Railway. The station was purchased from British Rail in 1992 and is a superbly turned out piece of restoration these days. You'll notice in the old photos and footage that the station lost its canopy at some stage. A new canopy was added, completed I believe in 2005. One more thing just to mention while we are in Stanhope, and that's just about the engine shed, which is just down the line there. But in World War II, Phil, it was used to keep a couple of historic engines safe during the war, and they were a couple of the historic Stockton and Darlington railway locos, including locomotion. So that was stable just down the line here during the war.
Oh, so even back then, they could see the significance of the old locos. I mean, there was a sign on the way up here. Did you see it saying locomotion and a brown tourism sign?
Oh yeah, that's the museum,
so
isn't
that's
it?
Down
Shildon,
there. Right.
Yeah. So that's the lost railway town of Stanhope. We're not here just to film this. We've not come all this way because it is a little bit of a trip. This we've actually come to have a look at some of the surrounding railways as part of a wider series. So some more stuff for you to watch from around this area very shortly. So thanks very much, Phil. So cheers for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra.